Hey guys, before we go ahead and move forward with the video, I want to take this time to shout out 5 of my YouTube membership members: William Chirinos, Roscoe Lopez, King Omega, Chaos Control 83, Heartless Nobody, and Simply Lost. Thank you guys again for all of your support on my YouTube memberships. Guys, if you want to be a member on YouTube memberships, it only costs 99 cents per month, and you're going to get access to a badge right next to your name when you comment on my videos or my video premieres. You'll have access to exclusive emotes only available on my YouTube memberships. You will be randomly shouted out alongside 4 other people on newly uploaded videos, such as this one. And last but certainly not least, you'll be automatically entered into a monthly $15 gift card giveaway that I will be giving away at the end of every month. All of that for 99 cents per month. So consider supporting me on YouTube memberships. But without further ado, let's go ahead and move forward right with the video. What's up everybody, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. Back yet again with another video on Octopath Traveler, Champions of the Continent. This is the closed beta of the English version of the game, and if you guys actually want to play the closed beta, I do have a link now for the closed beta, linked in the video description as well as the pinned comments. I believe this is only available though in North America. Quote me if I'm wrong on that. I got the link from FG3000, which is another fantastic YouTuber who is also covering the closed beta for this mobile game. So shout outs to him, but I will leave that in the link down below in the video description as well as the pinned comments. And also, I want you guys to note that the closed beta will run all the way up until April 5th. So for those of you who want to try this game out and see how it is before it actually launches later on this summer, this is your chance to do so now. And it is also only available in the Play Store. So for those of us that are iOS users, unfortunately, you guys will not be able to play the closed beta. Now, some disclaimers or FYIs that I want to put out there before I move forward to this video is that because this is the closed beta, any footage that I cover could potentially change for the actual global release for this game. Usually they don't change too much, but I just want to give you guys a heads up for those of you that might come across this video later when the game actually does release, that some of this information could potentially change. Another thing that I want you guys to be aware of is I have not played the Japanese version of this game, which is obviously going to be farther along ahead than the English version. I want to experience this game organically without any kind of foresight from another version of it. So for those of you that are wondering, oh, have you played the Japanese version? Do you know who to pull for? Yada, yada, yada. I don't, and I'm actually avoiding it on purpose because I want my experience for this particular game to be spoiler free, and I want to be able to learn it as I go. I think my experience for that is going to be a whole lot better. So without further ado, let's go ahead and continue on with this video. The goal for this video is to show you guys a little bit of the exploration and what it is all about, and then we're actually going to get into a little bit of the combat system too. So as you can see right here, I'm pretty much exploring through like this area right here, which is like a town. If I just press the cursor right there, I stop walking. If I just slide the cursor, I am walking normally, and then if I swipe, I can dash. And as you can see right here, we have like a weapon shop right here. Right over here is going to be the inn where you could actually, you know, rest and recover your HP, all this and that and stuff like that. If I click party right here, this shows you the party, and you can actually check out your formation and all that good stuff, but we'll cover that in a different video. Now, you're noticing that some of these NPC characters have like a colored talking bubble or chat bubble above them. So in Octopath Traveler, and similar to the console game, your characters can interact with these specific NPCs, and based on the interaction and your influence, you could get something out of it. And now the color for the particular interaction of these NPCs is dependent on what moral compass they follow. So in the beginning of the game, and if you guys watched my previous video, we went over that. So there's 3 different influence factors, or 3 different moral factors is what I like to call it. So the yellow is wealth, red is power, blue is fame. Now, if you, depending on what you choose, is where you're going to be starting off when you first start your game. But the color of the chat bubble is going to determine how you're going to have a special interaction with that character. So for example, for this NPC, as you can see, he's red, so that means that his influence is going to be power. Now, because my rank is not high enough, it has to be 3 for power, I cannot do that special interaction, but if we were able to, I can show you guys how that looks like. Actually, what we're going to go ahead and do is travel along here, and we're going to try to find a chat bubble where we can actually utilize and talk to that person. Okay, right over here. So this one is going to be blue. I believe this is Fame. So this is going to be Fame. So with Fame, you have different options here. So if they have the ability to be recruited as an ally, it's going to have the second option right here highlighted. But because they cannot, they only have the other one, which is Entreat. And this is going to allow us to get some of these possessions right here if we successfully entreat with this particular character. So if we click Entreat, pretty much it's like you're, I don't know, enticing them or persuading them to do something. And it gives you the success rate here depending on the item. Obviously, the better the item, the lower the chance rate, and it tells you right here. And if you do fail, it will harm your reputation. However, you could go back to the bartender, which is in a previous area, and for a certain amount of the currency, you can actually restore your reputation. So just for the purposes of this video, let's go ahead and entreat for this linen grass here. We have a 70% chance. And it warns you right here that it will lower your reputation if you fail. And as we can see, we went ahead and succeeded, and we got ourselves a linen grass, which is pretty cool. Take good care of it, okay? So there we go. Now let's see another example of an interaction while we explore. And as you can see right here, we are actually getting a little bit of feats that we went ahead and accomplished because of that. So this one is red. Okay, so this person is power, but we can't interact with them because our rank with power is too low. So we're actually going to move forward to a different area. Actually, wait, let's see if we could do this one. So this one is about wealth. Yellow is wealth. And let's see what this person... No, it looks like we can't. Our rank is still too low. So our influence is still a little bit low because this is just kind of like near the starting point of the game. But as you can see, pretty unique and definitely based off of the actual console game, because the console game does have a system that is very similar to that. All right, so let's go ahead and traverse through this portion of the exploration. All right, so right here we have red, and we could actually inquire. Alright, so I've done this already in a previous playthrough, which I actually streamed prior to making this video. But if somebody has power as their influence, for their possessions, you would actually have to fight them, and it would give you a danger level. And then to recruit them as like an ally, where you could summon them, and this is the effect when you summon this particular ally in combat, lower speed of an enemy by 10% for 4 turns. You can also fight them, and if you defeat them, you'll be able to recruit them as an ally. And in combat, you can only have up to 2 allies recruited. And when we get into an actual fight, I'll show you how that looks like. But this is how it would be if you were to use the influence factor if somebody is with the power influence, which is right over here. And some of the battles are actually pretty funny. Like for this one, when I did this on stream, we fought against 2 elderly women and 1 old man. I do find it hilarious that Octopath Traveler has these raging elderly that want to fight you for some reason, or it's really silly, but that's just the way that this game works. But that's pretty much a little bit of a nutshell of how the exploration is. If you see here on the map, if something is marked with a red check mark, that means it's pertaining to the actual story of the game, because there is a story for this game, so there's a lot of reading, but the story is actually pretty cool. And we were going over it on my stream that I did prior to this video, and it was actually pretty cool seeing a story that's involved in this mobile game. Has voice acting and all that good stuff. But what we're going to go ahead and do here is we're actually going to go ahead and traverse to the next area. Actually, let's see if we can... Okay, we can't we can't influence this person with power, so our rank is too low. So we're going to go ahead and go into an actual like area where we could fight monsters and all that good stuff. So as you can see right here, it tells us the danger level, level 1. This isn't going to be too hard for me because my characters are actually pretty leveled, and I will have a separate video on how customizing and building up your characters works in this game. But we're just going to go ahead and traverse here, and you will run into random encounters just like the original game. And I do want to cover a special encounter that you can have during combat. All right, so this is combat pretty much here. Everybody starts off with 1 BP, which is this glowing orb that's right next to the character. Now, pretty much just like Octopath Traveler, the console game, if you save up the BP, you can actually use a better version of the command by storing it and then unleashing it. So right here, if I swipe to the right on my attack command, I can boost it by 2 times, which allows me to do 2 melee attacks. But for the purposes of this particular battle, this is a super easy battle. We're just going to go ahead and attack. And when we get to the actual like harder fight, I'll show you guys a little bit more of the combat mechanics for the game. And you can obtain items such as a beast tusk, which you can use to sell to the weaponsmith or the blacksmith. And based on what you sell them, will unlock various weapons that you could buy. You can earn experience through combat. There's other ways of earning experience, but like I said, we'll cover that in a separate video. Alright, so let's find ourselves a much stronger enemy that we could combat against. Something a little bit more formidable. Let's see here. So let's actually just attack here, because the threat level for these particular mobs is pretty low. And the music for the game is literally what's from the console game, so it's pretty cool. I actually like how they kept the music. I mean, the music for Octopath Traveler is absolutely gorgeous and amazing, so really, really enjoy it. All right, so you guys see there's a little monster there, and it looks like we got another random encounter, so we're just going to go ahead and take care of this white bat. Okay. Alright, so this thing right here, this monster, this is what's known as an elite monster. So usually they're like a much stronger version of an enemy mob that you come across. They generally are pretty much function almost like a mini boss fight or a boss fight. Higher leveled, and you definitely want to strategize and also make sure to have your character's SP gauges close to full. So then that way you guys will be prepared. So we're going to go ahead and encounter this elemental elite enemy. As you can see right here, level 15 menacing ice elemental. So we're going to go ahead and jump into combat here, and I'll explain a little bit more of the combat system. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with Octopath Traveler, when you're fighting enemies, they will have like this blue shield right here. This one is at a number 6. So what that means is that you have to hit them with what they're weak to 6 times in order to break them. And when you break them, they become more vulnerable and they cannot act the turn that they are broken. So it allows you to really ramp up damage and dish out as much damage as possible. Now, as you can see right here, there is a electricity symbol or thunder symbol here. This means that I've already unlocked a weakness for this enemy, which is lightning. We haven't unlocked the other or discovered the other 3 weaknesses yet. So for now, what we're going to go ahead and do is use the lightning attacks. So I have that active here with Gilderoy. Now, for those of you that are wondering, what is this switch? I could switch out from my back row, and anybody in the back row will recover HP and SP gradually. So you could use that strategically to be able to, like, let's say if your character in the front row needs to recover a little bit, switch them with somebody in the back row, so then that way they can take a break while the other character is taking combat for them. So we're going to use Thunder Shock here. And pay attention to your SP too, because that is very important. All right, for Jose here, we're going to use Withering Oracle, which allows us to allows enemies to take more elemental damage. And then for Scarecrow, let's go ahead and use Awakening. Awakening is a buff that increases attack and crit rate. And we're going to go ahead and hit attack. There we go. As you can see, we lower the shield to 5 and now 4 because we're hitting weakness. And we applied a debuff of elemental defense down. Alright, so per turn, anytime you don't use a BP, you will accumulate more. And you definitely want to try to accumulate as much as you can and not try to waste it all in one go. So we're going to go ahead and exploit the weakness again. For Jose, let's just attack. And for Scarecrow, we're just going to go ahead and attack as well because we want to conserve SP. Alright, so we are close. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is, with the main character, I'm going to use just regular... Actually, I'm going to incite. This will provoke foes. So we're going to go ahead and provoke with my merchant there. I'm going to go ahead and electrocute one more time. Attack and attack. Alright, so we are provoking. So it's only going to attack Gilderoy, which is my 5-star merchant. Alright, we have 4 BP equipped. So we have a few options here. So allies, if you click this, it allows you to use the allies which you recruited from influencing characters. So if I summoned Gossipy Woman, she'll heal us. She'll heal the party in the front, and it tells you the potency and the strength there. Then if I use Woman who is stern to strangers, she's going to lower the enemy's speed. Let's go ahead and just do that. 2 times option allows us to do to have the combat sped up, but that's not really that important. And then if you go to switch all, everybody in the front row who has allies behind them will switch to the back, and then they'll switch to the front and vice versa. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is just electrocute one more time. We know that we're going to break, so we're going to prepare for like a big attack. We're going to use Withering Oracle. I'm going to awaken, and I'm just going to go ahead and attack here because we're going to prepare for a big attack next turn because we're going to go ahead and break this enemy with one more electrocute. Boom. All right, so now we've broken them. And as you can see, they're taking more damage. Okay, so now what I'm going to go ahead and do is boost all. And for you, I'm going to use Exploit Weakness. For you, I'm going to use Slice. For you, I'm going to use Luminescent. And then right over here, let's use... no, let's go ahead and use Double Sturdy Shot. Yep. All right, so now let's go ahead and see how much damage we do now. There we go. Nice. All right, so now what I'm gonna go ahead and do here is we're gonna attack. We're gonna switch and impart self with physical attack. We're gonna go ahead and switch off our top 2 characters, and let's go with Pierce. Let's actually heal wounds with Jose, and with you we're gonna attack. Alright, and as you can see, our back row characters are recovering their SP and HP gradually. So what I'll be doing here now is just kind of building up some BP again, and then we're gonna bring in one of the characters that has access to its elemental weakness. Okay, so it looks like we discovered another elemental weakness, which is light. So what we're gonna go ahead and do now is let's bring them back. We're gonna Thunder Shock, switch, electrocute. We're gonna use Luminescence, and we're just gonna attack. There we go. Alright, break that shield down. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and let's see what we can do here. Electrocute. Let's attack. And let's attack. So this boss has a lot of HP. So for this video, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to tackle this boss down completely, or this elite enemy, but we'll do what we can just to give you guys a little bit more of the flow of combat here. So what I'll do here is I'm just going to attack. We're just biding our time because now we have this enemy cornered. We're going to break them. All right, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to use a max version of that, and 4 attacks here. And let's attack. Nice, good chunk of damage there. There we go. So this is going to be the flow of combat, guys, as far as Octopath Traveler. Again, if you guys have not played the console game, it's pretty much very reminiscent or literally mirroring how the combat works for the console game. And they did a really good job in translating it into this mobile game, giving you ways to strategize, having a front row, back row, and things like that. So it's a pretty cool system. I enjoy it myself. I think it's nice and refreshing. It's old school, and yet there is something modern about it, which is really cool that it is present in the mobile version of Octopath Traveler. But this is going to go ahead and conclude this video covering the exploration, how the influence works, and also how the flow of combat looks in Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent. Again, reminder, this is the closed beta, so any of this could be subject to change on the actual release, which is forecasted to be summer of 2022. And if you guys are interested in trying out the closed beta up until April 5th, the link will be down below for the Play Store link. Again, and I believe it's for North America only, but I could be wrong about that. If anybody knows for sure, just let me know in the comment section below, and then I could correct it in the pinned comments. But thank you guys again for watching. I'm gonna have more content on the closed beta for Octopath Champions of the Continent until the closed beta actually ends. This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan signing out. Mahal, everyone.